Download the WNN app on your Android or iPhone and never miss a Talk 1470 minute.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local celebrity host Steve-O. Sit back each week while Steve-O educates you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon. Hope you're not stuck out there in traffic. It is crazy out there. I think it's going to rain all this week.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Know. But anyway, we got a great show planned for today. You used to write us about dental implants, and we are so lucky. We got the top practice, I say, in South Florida. It's called South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry. If you're on 1470 AM and maybe it's not coming in very clear, go over to 95.3 FM. If you'd like to call and ask our doctors today, whether it's Fred or Jeff, call us now at 888-565-1470. If you've got a question about dental implants, now's the time to give us a call. So, welcome, guys. I knew you guys were going to be a little late today because the traffic for where I came was horrible.
A lot of rain.
A lot of rain. And more on the way.
Yeah, more on the way. Some street lights out.
We like split-second timing. We're here.
Well,
precision.
Yes. Anyhow, the name of the practice is South Florida Center for Periodontics, Implant Dentistry. And, you know, things have changed so much because my mom actually had dental implants done 15 years ago, and it was bad then. It took like 3 months to get everything completely done. So tell everybody a little bit about your practice first. Flip a coin.
We have been in Boca Raton as part of this practice, or the practice has been in Boca Raton, I should say, for almost 50 years. Neither of us have been practicing that long. But we have a tremendous depth of resources and abilities, and we really care about the people in the community here. We go out of our way to provide the best care, the most comfortable care, and the most successful care that we can. And we're here to stay, so we're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to make sure that what we do is right, and we're going to be here to make sure that you have a good experience and come back next year, and you recommend us to family and friends as well.
See, I still have my ear to the street, so I'm going to ask you a question, because this is one of the things people are nervous about, besides pain, and we'll get to that too. How many procedures have you done in the last 5 years between the two of you?
5 years?
Even in the last year.
You're talking about implants placed?
Implants.
Implants placed?
In the last 5 years,
I'm going to show you how much experience these guys have.
8,000-9,000, I'm guessing?
Probably in that neighborhood.
Say that again?
8,000 or 9,000, probably, between us. And
See,
we also have some other partners.
With someone who's done 8,000 to 10,000 implants, listen.
That's in the last couple of years, last few years.
Yeah, that's just in the last
lifetime.
few years. But this is basically all you do.
We take care of adults with dental problems. Implants happen to be a large part of that.
Okay.
Because we also help people preserve their teeth. We're periodontists, so we work on the preventative side. We work to save teeth. And when we can't save teeth, then we replace them with implants. It turns out that a lot of our patients come to us when it's a little bit too late to save the teeth, or they've had other procedures done that haven't worked out, and we're there to sort of resurrect it and give them another chance all over again.
So you get them when they're having gum problems, probably, or if teeth are becoming loose,
yeah, exactly,
falling out.
Exactly, correct.
That's when you see them.
We do, and to pile on to Jeff's point, one of the things that tends to happen, or tends to be a common thread with our patients, is a lot of them just tend to be dentally exhausted. They've had multiple fillings, root canals, crowns, bridges, maybe dentures or partial dentures, and they've sort of been through the ringer with a lot of it, and they're just looking for another solution. So what he's saying is absolutely right. We see people that we try to preserve their teeth, but there does come a point where they're just dentally exhausted, and it's time to say, look, this is something that's going to be a lot more predictable for you and give you the confidence that you want to feel better, feel younger, and go back to resuming the life that you want.
A friend of ours has dentures. She complains about them all the time. And she'll say, there's even foods that I'm afraid to eat still, and I've had dentures for a long time. Once you've had dental implants, you no longer have to worry about what you eat, do you?
Not really. And we ask people all the time, when was the last time you had a raw carrot? When was the last time you bit an apple? And a lot of people who wear dentures say, I can eat fine, but they don't eat those foods.
Right.
And it's true. So, yeah, with implants, you can have carrots and apples. And we often tell people that their new teeth, which is really their third set, the first set are the baby teeth that fall out, the second set are the permanent teeth that come in, and the third set are the ones that you buy. And that third set often is the strongest of all of them.
So let's say someone went in 5 years ago and they got scared off, they decided not to do it. How have things changed in the last 5 years with dental implants?
Well, there's a constant evolution, and one of the cornerstones of our practice is we try to stay at literally the leading edge of technology. So 5 years ago, we were doing what was leading edge then, and today we're doing some other things. As an example, we're the first practice in the world to have a robot for robotic implant placement. And so while we don't use it for every single procedure, there are some instances where it can be incredibly useful and incredibly helpful.
I got to ask, where do you use a robot at?
Well, oftentimes for the more difficult and more challenging cases, for perhaps a patient that has very little space to place that dental implant, meaning a new tooth root, where the robot can have absolute precision, far beyond even what other surgical guides can have.
Wow. So we've gotten, since you've been here last, a lot of questions, but they're basically all the same. Pain, how long do they last? And I think the other one is pain. So it's pain, how long do they last? And pain was the biggest one.
Right. And pain is one of the biggest questions that we get on a day-to-day basis. The great thing about what we do is that dental implants generally don't hurt. So when we do our procedures, we'll tell patients that they're generally going to have discomfort afterwards, but not pain. I tell all of them, go resume your life the following day, or if you want to go to a movie or go to dinner that night.
The following day.
Absolutely. Most of our patients are treated with either over-the-counter anti-inflammatories like Advil or Motrin.
Because you're going to have a little swelling probably.
A little bit. You're going to have a little tenderness, a little discomfort, but rarely do our patients need to use something like a strong narcotic. It's generally not necessary to use that. And so we'll get patients that will say that they took one pain pill after the procedure because they were worried, but in fact they really didn't need it. And then once they get through that initial maybe 12 hours afterwards, it hits them that, wait a minute, I'm doing okay here. I'm doing fairly well with over-the-counters or maybe prescription anti-inflammatories or Tylenol.
Is there, day after, can I have anything I want to eat? Or is there a period that you have to kind of stay away from certain hard foods?
It depends, but I think just to talk about the pain issue, my last patient yesterday was a podiatrist who had 4 teeth removed, a few implants placed, and temporary refitted to all that. And the whole procedure took about 2 hours, and she went back to work today. She's seeing patients this morning. That's our typical story.
So is that leading into, is that the implants in one day?
How
long
sometimes.
Okay, because that was one of the other questions we got was we keep hearing about implants in a day. And we've got to talk about that today because when my sister had hers in Dallas, it was about a 3 to 4 month period. Took a long time for her to get the final implants in.
The last patient I treated today had a procedure done that kind of pulls together everything that Fred was talking about also, this idea that we do things really precisely. So with this patient, we used some computer-guided surgery. It wasn't the robot. It was a different system. And we also had a computer prefabricate or pre-make the teeth. So my last patient today had about 8 teeth removed, 4 implants placed, and
same day.
and a 10-tooth
Just today.
bridge placed. She just left about half an hour ago. She's fine. She'll be fine tomorrow. There were no stitches used. She will probably take no more than a few Advil tonight and probably nothing tomorrow. There will be a little swelling. There really won't be any pain. And she's going to chew soft foods and stay away from really sticky, tough things for probably 6 weeks.
Okay.
But
It's not a bad trade-off.
it's not, because she's done. She just has to heal. We're really good at tricking the body into accepting these implants as artificial teeth. And the body accepts them, and they last sometimes a lifetime. Sometimes they have some issues, which we can also talk about. But we have
What
to
is
let
the
them heal
difference?
completely.
What is the difference in dentures and implants? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to the show right now who have dentures.
Right.
So what is the what are they going to feel different, be able to eat different? What is the difference?
Well, first and foremost, with dentures, you're generally sleeping next to your teeth, not with your teeth. So
good.
we're laughing, but that's a real thing for people. And for somebody who's socially conscious about that, or has a loved one or significant other that they're sharing a bed with, that they don't want them to see that, that's a big obstacle. And you still have a lot of people that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe 80s that are dating, and causes a real loss of confidence. So dentures can be a real problem. Going back to the eating issue, if somebody's eating with dentures, as Jeff pointed out, they're eating, but what are they eating? Can they order a salad? Can they eat the carrots? Can they have the apple? Will they get the corn on the cob? Everybody's going to be able to eat. They'll find something soft.
And can you taste it?
And can you taste it? Right.
Very good, yes.
You know, really interesting story. Just to get sidetracked for a second, a lady.
That's all we do
treated-
here.
Right, exactly. Everything's a sidetrack. So a few weeks ago, I treated a woman who had a denture and desperately wanted to get rid of it because what Jeff said, she couldn't taste her food.
Wow.
We got rid of her denture, replaced 4 implants. We were able to make teeth that attached. They screwed in right away the same day. She left with teeth. And the only problem she had afterwards was because she'd been wearing a denture for the last 5 or 6 years, she forgot that she has to blow on hot food. She hadn't blown on hot food in years.
That's right.
And she burnt her palate the first day. That's the only thing that she had discomfort
Would never
from.
think of that.
She never had discomfort from the surgery. The only thing she had discomfort from was she had hot food and she had not
'Cause
blown
the
on food.
Denture
Protects
covers that.
covers the palate. So she tasted food for the first time, but she was out of the habit of blowing on hot food because she couldn't feel it on her palate. She had no sense there before.
What do you do if a patient doesn't have much of a bone structure? Can you still work with them?
Yeah, we're actually really creative at using whatever's there to support permanent teeth. It's extremely rare. I may see 2 or 3 people a year where I can't help them, but we have colleagues that we work with that have some other specialized procedures that
That scares
perhaps
me
can
if
be
you
used.
can't work with them.
Well, we don't do everything, but we know everything. So even if we don't do it, we certainly know where to
What do you
point
do
you.
in that case if they don't have enough? Because you need bone structure, right?
You need some
Something
bone.
You need some bone.
to stabilize the denture.
Right.
I mean the implant.
But it's really rare. It may be 1 in 100,000 that doesn't have enough bone for implants. And if in that case where you don't have it, then there are different strategies you can use, or you graft bone. In other words, you take bone either from some other part of the body, or there are some products that are available that form bone. And if you're patient, you can overcome that problem too. But it's really, really rare to have
So you're
that
saying
issue.
just about anybody, almost anybody, would be a patient for dental
Almost
implants?
anybody can
Almost
have
anybody.
Okay.
Unless they're so medically unstable that they shouldn't be a patient, period. They're generally
Right.
going to be a candidate. And Jeff points out a really good thing as far as the making bone. That's something unique that as periodontists, we're uniquely trained to grow bone. That's something that really does separate us from a lot of the people that took a weekend course and decided they wanted to start placing implants. Those people really lack the training and the skill and the experience to go ahead and start growing bone. And that's what I think really separates us from from many other dentists that are doing other similar type work.
Do most people have gum disease that had gum disease at one time who comes in to see you?
Not necessarily.
Because I always heard
the ones
that
that come to see us certainly do.
Yeah, because I always heard that was the reason why people lost their teeth.
Oh, absolutely.
Was because of gum disease. Right. And is that hereditary?
Well, they lose their teeth because of gum disease and also because of tooth decay, cavities.
Okay. Not taking care of their teeth earlier.
Oftentimes. Oftentimes, okay. Yes.
So people who think they have gum disease, which you treat too, right?
We do, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So they should come see you. And I gotta say this, and I'm not buttering anybody up, but we go all the way to Aventura and all the way up pretty far north from here because of our signal. Don't look at price at this. Who's got the best deal out there? This is something that's really important. It's going to last you 10 years, 15 years.
The goal is for it to last a lifetime.
Okay.
There are circumstances where, some people, if they've had a long history of periodontal disease, they may have a little bit more trouble in the long term. Or if somebody's a smoker, those people may have a little bit more issue. But for the most part, most people do very, very well. They're not going to get decay. They're not going to have a root canal problem. They're going to do real well for the most part.
Do they have to take care of these different than just brushing your teeth?
No, they're pretty much the same. You brush them. A lot of people use water pick or some kind of irrigation just because it's easier to use than a brush in some of these areas. And we recommend that you also see a hygienist, and we have some superb hygienists in order to professionally clean areas that you're not going to reach yourself. People run into problems with implants just like they run into problems with their teeth when they don't take care of them. And part of our job, part of our core value is to help people take care of themselves.
Because I love when people are looking at something as important as this, and they went, I Googled somebody. Listen, we're giving you a practice here. Even through in Boca, it would be worth it if you're in Fort Lauderdale or Aventura to come at least sit down with you guys. Because, I mean, from everything I've read and heard, you guys are the best. So I think we really lucked out. I mean, we really lucked out getting you guys.
Thank you.
And because our age group is about really 50 plus. And I bet you your clientele is probably in that age group, right?
Well, I had a 10-year-old today, so...
I got to hear about this. We got to go to break. When we come back, it's South Florida Center for Periodontal Implant Dentistry. Give us the phone number.
561-912-9993.
And the website?
www.flsmile.com.
We'll be right back.
Get your smile ready for summer. Are you missing teeth? Do you have loose teeth? Can you bite into an apple? Is your smile ready to hit the beach this summer with confidence? We all work out and try to look great since we live in paradise. You need a smile to match. The South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry can help you replace those failing or missing teeth with a beautiful smile and the confidence you deserve. The doctors at the South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry have helped thousands of patients rejuvenate their smiles for nearly 30 years by replacing failing and missing teeth with dental implants. Often new teeth are replaced the very same day using the technique they pioneered more than 15 years ago. Teeth today. At the South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry, all of their doctors are board-certified dental specialists. They have placed thousands of dental implants, and we all know that experience matters. Call the South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry today to schedule your free consultation. Call them at 561-912-9993. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, we're back. We already had our first call wanting your name and phone number. Anyway, we were talking before. You just said, Jeff, that you had a 10-year-old kid today?
Yeah, we see kids every once in a while. They don't necessarily have the classic gum problems like adults do. Very often we see kids associated with orthodontic type problems. where there's a malformation of the gums, and we fix that in association with the orthodontist. So there's a variety of things that we do. We certainly don't do implants in kids. Usually you got to be about 16 to 18 years old minimum before we start considering implants, because we don't want to put one in someone who's actively growing. But we do a lot of gum correction in kids and adolescents.
Now, we've got a lot of these MMA fighters down here. Do you get any sports injuries who have to have a tooth replaced?
We
It's
do.
gone probably, but
We do. We haven't had any MMA fighters that I know of.
there's a
but
lot down here.
we have had some professional athletes. We've had a number of semi-professional athletes, a lot of amateurs who got hit in the face with a golf ball or an elbow or a tennis racket, and that's a very common injury that we see.
Is it really?
Yeah, we get our share of small facial traumas.
And the weekend warriors,
Right.
Now, what do they do?
they do everything because they think they're professionals.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And I'm included in that one. But
I got you. So, take me through. We're having people call last time you were here. Take me through. They set up an appointment to sit down with you first.
That's right.
That's the first thing they do.
That's right. You can't get someplace if you don't know where you're starting.
Right.
And then you'll know where you want to go. So the first thing we do is we want to meet with our patients, do a proper examination, make sure we have
X-rays?
Absolutely. We need to make sure we have all the proper diagnostic tools, whether it's a CT scan, regular dental X-rays, charting. We want to examine the patient, but more importantly, we want to be able to talk to the patient. We want to create realistic expectations. We want to understand what their goals are, because oftentimes they don't know. They just know they want
Right.
teeth. They don't know if they want implants. They want to preserve their teeth. They just know they want to improve their smile. They want to feel better. They want to look good, and they don't want to go through the discomfort. So it's really important that we go through all of that with our patients. And oftentimes we're able to elicit a lot of other things that are making them either unhappy with their smile, or if there's certain anxiety that they have associated with the dental care, what's kept them out of dentistry for a while in some instances. We not only are we good at eliciting that, but we have a very well-trained team of people that really support us within our practice, including treatment coordinators that are outstanding at getting to the core of what's bothering our patients. And then also we can then lay out a plan, working oftentimes with other dentists as colleagues to help us map out and make a decision as to what we want this patient to look like when we're done, and then implement that plan in a seamless way.
You ever think about what you do? Someone comes in, maybe they're missing a back tooth, but when they smile, you can see that tooth missing. What you do for that person's life, it changes their whole life.
yeah, we get that everyone for some of our more expressive patients. And, I can think of a few people that have just lit up after they were finished, and they talk about how this was transformational. It really changes the personality. It creates self-confidence. And that's very special for us to be part of that. We share that experience. We call it a reveal.
We have a
in
friend
our
that's
office.
beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Probably about 55 years. I mean, beautiful. But when she smiles, she's got that one tooth missing, and it overshadows everything. And we've been trying to talk her to come see you guys. One of her things, how much work am I going to miss?
Right.
And by the way you're talking,
None.
they could really go back to work tomorrow.
Yep.
Very, very little work. And it's funny you say that, because when you said that about your friend, there's a patient that comes to mind who, without a smile, she's a very attractive woman, late 40s, maybe early 50s, takes care of herself, always came in her Lululemon outfit from the gym, looked great. And then she would smile, and the smile and the teeth don't match the person.
Right.
Well, we changed that. And literally in the course of one day, one day's treatment, she went from having a smile that did not match to a smile that lit up the room. And it gave her a whole different sense of how she felt about herself. She went from being a single woman to starting to date, and she's now finished with all of her restorations with her restorative dentist. And she's a different person because she didn't used to smile.
They have to be. So my friend, what's the next one? Painful. And if you listen to the show, there's really not much pain. And it sounds like a Tylenol over-the-counter might help you.
Right.
So it's not near as bad as people think it is. So I think that they should come into your office, because if anybody can make them feel at ease, you guys sure can. You've done enough of these. But it does. It changes your life. And just even when you go out for dinner, you can kind of really order what you want after the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, the hardest thing is picking up the phone. Dialing the number and picking up the phone is much harder than having the treatment done.
Does insurance cover this at all?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It depends on your insurance, and it sometimes helps. It very rarely covers all of it.
Right.
But we can find out what kind of contribution your insurance company might pay. And you have to kind of remember that the insurance company doesn't care if you have teeth or not.
That's true. That's
They
true.
just want to collect the premiums. And
Right.
they're not interested in your health or your well-being. They just are interested in their
Shareholders.
shareholders, exactly. So dental insurance is not like health insurance.
Right.
In some way. And more often than not, there's going to be some out-of-pocket expense for
Well, if
the
you've ever had
procedure
dental
we do.
insurance, they usually don't cover very much.
It's really just a benefit plan. It's
Yes.
found money. So we just tell our patients, if you get something back, consider it found money.
Right. Right. So I come in for you say about an hour?
We generally block out about an hour for our new patient exams. That gives us enough time to sit with our patients, meet them, get to understand what their needs are, what their underlying concerns are that maybe they're not expressing right away, and then do a proper exam, take the proper radiographs, photographs, models, whatever we need to do to work that patient up. And then we'll sit down with the patient, and if they come with a friend or a loved one, somebody that they trust, we'll sit down with them and be able to map this all out for them and show them exactly where they are today and exactly where we want them to go as far as the final outcome is concerned.
By the way, if you would like to, you got home late, got out of the car late, if you'd like to watch today's show, let's send them to your website. What is your website?
www.flsmile.com. That's floridasmile.com.
You can actually go and watch today's show. It'll be up there. Tell me, I want you guys to brag. It's okay. Tell me why I should come to you rather than anyone else in town.
We're really good at what we do, and we care.
Experience counts.
Well, see, I've got the professor over here because since day one I said this guy should be teaching. He said, "Well, I do," because people have to feel at ease,
Right.
especially when something's so big. I mean, it's almost like having surgery and getting ready for surgery, because from the people that I've spoken to, my sister, friends of ours who've had implants, this is a big decision. And I just want people to know these guys are the best. South Florida Center for Periodontic Implant Dentistry, located in Boca, but it's okay if you're in Fort Lauderdale. Give these guys a call. Give them your phone number.
561-912-9993.
And they will be back with us again next month. I have the date down. We'll be announcing that. Thanks for listen. It was tough today coming over, but this is like the easiest show. I don't even have to look at notes at all. We'll be back with another show. It's good. Bad Faith, our lawyer with bad faith. We'll be right back.
Get your smile ready for summer. Are you missing teeth? Do you have loose teeth? Can you bite into an apple? Is your smile ready to hit the beach this summer with confidence? We all work out and try to look great since we live in paradise. You need a smile to match. The South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry can help you replace those failing or missing teeth with a beautiful smile and the confidence you deserve. The doctors at the South Florida Center for Periodontics and Implant Dentistry have helped thousands of patients rejuvenate their smiles for nearly 30 years by replacing failing and missing teeth with dental implants. Often new teeth are replaced the very same day using the technique they pioneered more than 15 years